I can't breathe. Stop. No.
Oh, boy, dear. I think she's actually hurt.
No, I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there.
Okay.
Gosh, I hope she's okay.
You ready for the surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Where, first of all, are you in your bed? Where are you?
I'm in my bedroom in Ording.
Okay, but for people that are just listening right now and can't see it, I encourage you. It is the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD, here on Puck Sports, YouTube, wherever you find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and the like. Divish is in his bedroom in Ording, Washington. It's a long night. I appreciate him getting up early to do this. There's a day game today. He's traveling to Colorado. What's the painting behind you?
I think those are Japanese cherry blossoms.
Okay.
Which feels, and then it feels like the pollen from those cherry blossoms has dripped into my eyes already this morning.
Yeah,
like, I love summer. I love spring in Washington. Other than the fact that, like, it's just a yellow snowstorm of pollen. So, like yesterday, when the sun came out and the wind started blowing, I'm like, dear God, no.
It's awful. I suffer from the same stuff. Do you take anything?
Yeah, I take Zyrtec and I have a nasal spray and all this stuff. And I was just like, what I like is like when we have the 15-day road trip during April, so I can get the hell out of here. And so I'm looking forward to Colorado, where my hay fever will kick up instead, and probably. But I never had pollen allergies like this until I moved out here.
Never.
You know, no, I've turned into one of those kids that can't eat peanut butter, essentially, like with this pollen. It's miserable.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. All right, you ready for the surprise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it worked finally.
It works. Do you remember this?
Oh my God. Yes.
Feels. Doesn't this feel normal now?
Yeah.
God, it just feels good. It's back. This is your song. This is how we brought you in every time. God, it just works, doesn't it?
Yeah, for a while there, we also used the Outfield Your Love for a while, too, because that was my walk-up song in college.
But this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good one, right? Did we use this or was it the other one? Did I get the song wrong?
No, we use this some. Well, we use this for the Baseball's Best Postgame show, too.
Okay, just by making sure. We can get the other one. I get the other one for you.
I mean, you can do whatever. You're a podcast. You just make that shit up as they go.
There you go.
You don't have until you get like a gajillion followers on Spotify. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. Exactly right. Yeah, I can get away with it now, but then eventually they're going to be like, hey, you need to stop playing that, please.
Yeah, when you create your media empire, then you won't be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, Divish. We're looking for a media empire. Divish is with us, the Daily Puck Drop today, the DPD. Again, pucksports.com. You check it there. Of course, you're watching on YouTube. You're going to listen to it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you find your podcast. He's with us today because there's a day game, so we thought we'd get a pregame with Divish, and then he's on a plane going to beautiful Denver, Colorado, where he's going to immerse himself in some green chili. He's going to smother that on everything he orders coming up in the next few days. Let me ask you real quick, as we're recording this here on a Wednesday morning, are you flying out on Alaska?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that now.
There's the odds of you flying out. If people don't know, the story is they've grounded all their flights right now because of an upgrade to their computer system.
Yeah, I don't fly till 3:30 this afternoon, but yeah, I'm guessing it'll be delayed. You know, I did pay for the Alaska boardroom pass, so
good for you.
I'll be, you know, I'm gonna be at the airport because I'm flying out like 3:30, and so I was gonna watch some of the game in the lounge at the airport, and then, you know, let Adam Jude do his thing. But yeah, I'm a little concerned, but I'd rather have everything working than get on the plane and then have him do the, oh yeah, we're updating our computers. Can you sit here a little bit? Because there's no sentence ever been uttered more at SeaTac Airport. We're going to hang out here on the tarmac for a little bit.
It's every time. It does not matter when you fly there. When you're coming in there, Have you ever flown in there and not been delayed going to your gate?
Well, it's like they get so excited. Hey, we're gonna land half an hour early. It's just a half an hour. I'm gonna sit in this plane. Does it really matter?
Just hot with somebody's elbow in my freaking rib cage. Yeah, no thanks. Let's just fly around for a little bit longer and look at the scenery.
Oh yeah, I'm here for that too.
Okay. Well, I appreciate getting up. It was a late night, and then you had to turn around and you got to get up early to do this podcast. So we appreciate it. It was a fun game last night, wasn't it? That was a good time. It was freezing, but it was fun.
I mean, I can't believe you went to that. You're crazy.
So cold. Oh my god, it was so cold.
I would never go to a game where I know the weather is that cold and I know that they're gonna leave the roof on.
Oh,
that's just, the wind was swirling. I looked down there and there's so many blankets. It's just like I was watching Puyallup Rogers football game. Like everybody's got blankets on and all bundled.
Why don't they close the roof? Well, what's the point?
Chuck Armstrong rule, man. If there's no rain, you got to leave the roof open.
But it's miserable for the fans. You have the damn roof. Is there a cost for like closing it that they don't want to pay for? What is it?
I mean, it does cost to open and close it, but it's open. It opened and closed once before the game. Once it starts, they'll always start with it open. Unless there's rain at that time or rain forecasted, they'll always start with it open because you can't start with it closed and open it up. Not that anybody complains. I mean, the players.
Why? Okay, whose rule is that?
I think it's an MLB rule. You can't start.
What's the point of it? Just because it's some like unfair advantage they think?
Yeah, I guess so. It's like
close it. I think it was so cold. We were sitting there in right field. It was just
because the wind when the roof's open. When the roof's open, the wind comes in, and then because of the kind of unique structure of the ballpark, it just swirls the whole time, and it's just so it feels like it's. No matter where you move in that stadium, it always feels like it's blowing in your face and making it cold. Yeah, at one point in the press box, I got up and moved because my hands were so cold. I was having trouble typing, and I got like a space heater and a big coat and everything, but it was miserable.
But it didn't stop. I'll tell you right, it didn't stop the vampire, the 10-year-old from. We discovered a new soft serve ice cream spot.
That was impressive.
That's in left center field. For anyone that's going there, left center field, there used to be. I think it might still be there. Actually, it might be closed. There used to be a Crab Shack place there where you get crab sandwiches. It's right next to it. It's the best deal in the ballpark. Now, eventually, they're A, going to raise the price, or B, they're going to stop giving you so much ice cream. There's a picture of it. I don't know if you saw it. It's on my
no, I saw
Twitter
it. I think
handle.
Your kid's going to have diabetes after eating that.
Of course he's going to have. It's unbelievable. He didn't even come close to finishing it. Not even close. Halfway done, he's like, I'm done. I'm like, okay, well, go to the bathroom and rinse it out. Okay, because we're not I want the helmet because it's served in the helmet. It's $7. Go to Puck 2040 on Twitter and you'll see it. This thing is so massive. Now, I don't know, maybe because they need to get rid of it. My wife was like, well, they got to get rid of the ice cream because it's the last game tomorrow. So maybe that's why. I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but everybody was getting the same size. So eventually the Mariners will.
That seems like an odd scenario to me, but I guess when you're eating ice cream on a night like last night, you don't have to worry about it melting everywhere.
Just like, why do you want ice cream right now? Hey, speaking of food, real quick, what was the media dining room meal like last night? I saw your picture from the weekend of the breakfast burrito. Oh my God.
Yeah, we had some brisket and barbecue sauce last night. I didn't eat it.
How was that?
I
good smoke ring on that brisket.
People said it was okay. I did not partake in that. I if I'm eating brisket, it's coming from Jack's Barbecue.
Okay, the best.
That's one good thing about ordering is I drive by the Algona Jack's.
Oh, the Algona one,
coolest. That's kind of the coolest spaces he's got.
Yeah.
So I haven't. Well, I could stop by and grab some breakfast. I wonder if they have breakfast tacos there.
They have breakfast tacos. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're sensational. Jack's Barbecue, your home for great barbecue, brisket, sausage, and breakfast tacos. Pucksports.com. All right, Jax, come on.
Yeah, come on, Jax. You're talking to two people, and I have my order now because I used to get the double trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And I still do, but the one lady, I get the sausage plate, on my double trouble.
It's the best.
And then she asked me for 2 sides, and I go, "Can I get 2 sides of the Texas chili with no onions?" And she's like, "What?" She goes, "You don't want like any greens or mac and cheese?" I go, "No." So she goes,
No.
"You just want chili and then 2 spicy sausages?" And I said, "Yeah, you say that like it's a bad thing." And some cut brisket.
He did a thing on social media for Easter. He was doing smoked ham with like this pecan sauce or something, a pecan rub on it.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
How does that guy stay so skinny, by the way, too?
Swims. He's a swimmer. He swims every morning for like an hour or something.
So he's like Condota out swimming Lake Washington every day.
Yeah, but and then he barely. I talked to him about it because I asked him. I said, I don't get it. He's like, I have brisket every day. He has like 1 piece a day, like in the morning or something.
Damn.
And that's it. And then like just nibbles. I mean, yeah, he's as skinny as he's like a toothpick. It's amazing.
He sounds like Matthew McConaughey. I think he does okay.
I think he does. I think he does quite well for himself. So the media, Camille was okay. Did you get any flack for that? Did you get any flack for that?
No, like it's been so like I'm not gonna.
It looks so bad.
I'm not gonna just take a dump on the Mariners, but like it's bad. This media dining's bad. Like if I'm rating it among ballparks, it's probably in the bottom 5 of all ballparks. Just because
what's the top one?
So I would say Minnesota, because you've been to Minnesota. There's large, healthy people there.
You sure are. They like to fill themselves out.
Oh man, they have that. They have the Nefla soup once a. It's like the chicken dumpling soup once a.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't had that.
Especially when it's cold. They have a soft serve machine. Like the people are super friendly there.
Oh, they're the best.
Toronto probably top 3. So Toronto, like because they moved the press box out to the outfield a while ago, so they like try make it better by having good meals. So like when we were there, this was the opening series, but they have this one dude who's a press box attendant, bald guy, and so you have a chicken, a beef, and a fish thing at all times. They have all these different things, and then they have like great soup. They have pre-made wraps and sandwiches for people that want to kind of grab stuff to go. They also have a burger station, a chicken finger station, which is new. Bar level chicken fingers.
This is like all the time?
Yeah, every game. And then in the 6th inning, they bring in pizzas from this Pizza Nova place they're good New York style pizzas. So they're up there too. And then you throw in like desserts, and then they have a popcorn machine, and the guy makes fresh popcorn on the old school popcorn machine with the popper.
Jesus, come on, Ems, what are we doing here?
And also during the playoffs, they had free 16-ounce cans of Stella, Kokanee, Labatt, and Molson after the game.
God bless Toronto.
Yeah.
Please try again.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
I have a picture of. I have to find a picture or video of this table of candy, and that they had at the playoffs last year or 2 years ago. It was like this whole table of candy, and it looked like they robbed one of those sweet treat stores and put it all right there.
No wonder you got to work out as much as you do,
so
especially when you go
Minnesota,
to Toronto.
Yeah, Minnesota, Toronto, and Houston are probably the 3 best.
Oh, all right. The Daily Puck Drop. Ryan Divish is with us, the DPD. Normally, we'd have Divish on Wednesdays for just a kind of a standalone segment, but there's a day game today. Then he's traveling to Colorado, so we're going to get it out early today. Brad Adam will join us post-game from T-Mobile. Well, better baseball last night. They still struck out a ton, but God, defensively they were solid yesterday, and especially Julio. I mean, Julio, I know he struggled to play, Div, but my God, defensively he was phenomenal last night.
Yeah, I mean, like, just him running down that Spencer Steer ball, and then the throw to get De La Cruz. I mean, like, that's 2 of the most prime athletes in baseball. Yeah. You've got the Avatar running around the bases at a rate that's just terrifying, and Julio makes just because the one thing is he can't dick around with it. He's got to grab it as fast as he can. He's got to get rid of it. He's got to throw it with pace. Rojas made a nice tag.
Great tag.
I mean, it was, that, and then the best is Fraley, who might be one of least smart base runners I've ever seen.
Why just
He's
slow
like,
down?
I think I'm just gonna downshift here because I don't want to get hurt going across the plate.
Unbelievable.
Because I'm sure in his mind, there's no way nobody's gonna get Ellie at third
Yeah.
base. So it's like, but he got faked out on the JP on that strike him out, throw him out. JP acted like it was ball 4, and then at the last second caught it and tagged
It's
it.
Great play.
Came off the base the other day when he stole third. So it's been a full series for Fraley.
Yeah,
he
he's
hit a
kind of
bomb.
adult out there.
Yeah.
He really is. It's remarkable. Yeah, Julio, and you noted it, I think, in your game story at SeattleTimes.com that, I mean, it was a tough little hop. It was an awkward hop. It just was an awkward hop. He got it. He made a great throw. And I just, people say this all the time, when you struggle at the plate, especially in baseball, you don't want to take it out on the defensive, side of the field. And he certainly hasn't done that. And he talked about how, listen, I know how long the season is. I'll come around and I'll be okay. And he's, last few games, he's been better and the team has been better. And I think the way that he performs offensively and he and Crawford, then the team, I think, relaxes as a whole. And at least in the first 2 games, they've probably looked like the team that Hollander and Dipoto envisioned when they traded and signed all these guys in the offseason.
Yeah, a little bit. I think more for Scott Service, just kind of the approach. Like, they forced Frankie Montas and Hunter Green have unbelievable stuff. They have strikeout stuff, but they also they're not pinpoint. And like we've seen, the Mariners have seen Montas a lot, and they know, like, hey, you know what? If you give this guy help, he'll strike you out. But if you don't help him, he's going to throw a bunch of pitches. I mean, he threw 45 pitches in an inning, against the Mariners. And then Green threw 39 pitches in an inning last night. It's not going to always be like that. They're going to face pitchers like today. Andrew Abbott's got better command. He's a different type of pitcher. But like, if a pitcher comes into a game knowing, hey, look, I can't screw around. I got to throw strikes. I got to come after these guys. That makes the Mariners, the Mariners are winning. Like, then that means they're seeing more pitches in the strike zone. So yeah, I think, like Julio looked better last night. He still has that one at bat where I swear to God, you could roll it up there and he'll probably take a swing at it. But like, and I mean that Diaz guy was bouncing. I mean, like he was throwing lawn darts up there, like 54-foot lawn darts. But like the 2 singles were better swings. Just have a little success. Start with some singles, work your way up. I mean, like that's the thing, and it's what he talked about, and they told him, like, you don't have to swing so hard to hit a homer. And I think last night, that's one thing too. Those guys know they're not hitting a homer last night. Unless you go right down the right field line, you're not hitting a homer in that. So, like, just have a good at bat, hit singles. I mean, like, Haniger, I think, has been one of the smarter hitters, with 2 strikes. He hits breaking balls. I mean, like, where would these guys be without Haniger? I don't think they want to play him as much as they have, but they have to play him because he's
this is the crazy thing is I want to knock on wood right now because you're like, everyone's thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
How long is it going to last before something happens? And it sucks to say that, but it's the reality of, what he's been like as a player. I mean, your fingers crossed nothing happens to him, but you're right. I mean, he's been their best offensive player by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. I mean, like he just is really, he's such a more mature hitter. He's a better overall hitter. He still he swings hard. He tries to hit power, but like, his at-bats are just that much more competitive, and he's perfectly willing to just take the single up the middle when he can get it.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. You know what else is fun to watch? And it's only been a couple games at a small sample size. Is this Class A kid, man? He's come up. You know what the thing about him? He doesn't look overwhelmed at all. He just looks like he belongs.
Well, I mean, one, I like it because he's about roughly the same height as me and you, and so, but it's like, what he does is just kind of determinant on like just put the ball in play and run as fast as he can. It's an old school mentality. He has added some pop to it. It doesn't look like he doesn't have a pretty swing, but like, he's a guy that has worked his way kind of, it's just been through repetition to get where he's at. I think some people, there's this belief that he's outstanding defensively. He's not. He's really fast, and he can use his speed to cover up.
So that makes up for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not. He's not quite Malik Smith, but like his routes are a little
It's just
off.
a great pull.
Yeah. But I mean, like his routes are a little awkward. His jumps aren't great, but he can make up for it with speed, and he's playing left field,
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not like you're having to cover in center. But like just be a guy that puts the ball in play and gets on base. It's like we always talk about batting average and balls in play, and the Mariners have had bad luck. He's a guy that can change luck because if he hits a 12 hopper to the shortstop, he can beat it out. And then get on base and then cause some havoc. So I think that's important, have that guy at the bottom of the order. Because then, when you get him at the bottom of the order, say he's on second with less than 2 outs, and he's batting ninth or eighth, and then you've got JP and Julio coming up with a runner on second, less than 2 outs, that forces pitchers to do things differently, and that can get them going as well. I think, because JP's not been great, Rojas has been actually pretty good. He's been on base a lot, but Julio's coming to the plate not a lot of times with not a lot of runners on base, and that's a problem.
It was great to get out there to the park and watch De La Cruz. It's just it is. You see him on TV, you see him on highlights, but when you see him up close and personal, it is just remarkable the size of him.
Yeah,
and how he moves.
He's a shooting guard out there.
It's unreal. You know what I want to see? I want to see him pitch. I hope the Reds at some point they get in a blowout like situation and they just let him throw. I want to see him on the mound one time and throw.
No, because like he would try and max out and he would get hurt. But
okay,
that was
just a couple pitches to max out. I just want to see him unleash on the mound.
Well, like that's the thing last night when that play at the plate, Garver's halfway to home. And he gets that relay and just fires a seed at about 99, and it just
beautiful.
I mean, like, it basically took the catcher's glove off. He threw it so hard. It's like, yeah, he's really crazy. We haven't seen him really run, and that's what's amazing is his first to third. There's probably not very many players faster than him in baseball, and Julio throw him out. Because not
no one's ever attempting to do that on that hit.
Yeah,
other
not
than
on
him.
a ball
He's the
to
only
left
one.
center. Yeah, on a ball to left center. No, I mean like. Julio might try it and maybe Class A, but like there's only a few guys that have the speed to do it, and you neutralized it.
It was really cool. There was so many kids out there that were there to see him, and that's what I took away from it last night was, there's always this notion, baseball is dead. It's not popular anymore with kids, and I always think that's said by people who don't like the sport and who have kids that don't like the sport, rather than people that have kids that love the sport. There were so many kids there. And half of them were Reds kids, and then half of them were Mariners kids. And they were there just to see him. The sole purpose was to see this guy play. And that's what baseball needs. And baseball should always do a great job of promoting that because it's there. And I think he's a guy that would embrace it. He looked like a guy that would embrace it to be a superstar and take it all on his shoulders.
It's the kind of, there is a renaissance with baseball with little kids. It reminds me of like when I was probably a little bit older than your son's age, but like you look at how much baseball cards are coming back now, like baseball cards, and then you got all the T-shirts now, and then all the gear, and then the one thing is now is baseball's figured it out. Like for us old dudes, complain because kids don't watch an entire game really on TV; they just watch the highlights. But I mean, like you go on TikTok or Instagram. I mean, that's how my girlfriend's kids see every highlight. They know more crap about the players than I do because they see 100%. All of the players post it.
It's so the like YouTube shorts. It's the TikTok. It's all that. Yeah.
You see the highlights of De La Cruz running around the bases in 14 seconds and all the bombs and stuff. So they see it. They take it in a different way. And so, it's baseball's been smart like that, with some of the marketing in that way. And they still don't have their LeBron superstar, but I think it's growing, and like, especially in the cities where players are at and teams are at, you can go see them, Julio might be off to a slow start and people might be this and that. You think it matters to your kid? I mean, like, no, I mean, like, they lose their mind, like when I was at spring training this year and they had all those little league teams from all around the Northwest playing down in Arizona in those tournaments, they were all at the games, and like Julio's throwing balls to the outfield, and it was just like a stampede of little kids just taking out one another trying to get those balls. So I think it's big.
And he's great too. I mean, we sat out in right field, and I've sat out in that Julio section many times. The way he interacts with people and kids, is particularly, is unlike any other player in baseball.
And he's a little kid, and when he made that one catch, and he's pointing at him, he's going crazy. He makes the throw. I love he ran that Spencer Steer ball down. He does the no-fly zone. He's all excited, and he fires the ball in and misses the cutoff man. It goes bouncing all the way.
He plays like a kid. That's what I enjoy about him. All right, so they got a day game coming up later today, and again, Brad Adam, Root Sports, will join us for a live post game show afterwards. So here on the Daily Puck Drop, what I like to do is we like to cover Mariners, but we like to cover other things. All right. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go, and you don't even know these things that we're gonna cover. All right, I'm gonna throw them at you. Okay. Now one is kind of a serious one, but then we don't have to spend too much time on it. Do you think Trevor Bauer will be back in baseball anytime this year? Another woman who accused him of sexual assault now has been charged with defrauding him in Arizona. And so she sued him, accused him of rape. That resulted in a pregnancy. It all turned out to be false. He was never arrested. He countersued and all that. But that's been thrown out. Now Major League Baseball, and she's being investigated. So at every stop, he's being looked at as he was the victim here and didn't do anything wrong. Will baseball ever welcome him back, do you think?
I think a team would have to be pretty desperate. Okay. But part of it is not even just, he has some baggage around that stuff, but he has baggage on the field. He's a tough teammate sometimes.
Not well liked, right? Is that kind of the gist of him?
Players, there's just a faction of players don't like him, like his time with Cleveland, I think, where was he the Diamondbacks before that? Like he does his own thing a lot and what he believes in, and it works for him. But they're just, they're players and executives and stuff. I just don't think that they think whatever success you get from him on the field is worth the headache.
It's not worth it because he's branded as somebody that's already committed these crimes.
Yeah,
and I don't think I don't think he's ever going to be able to shake that.
No, and then like I said, it'd be different too. Is like if the perception around the league was that he was a good teammate, or that and I don't think he's a horrible one, but he just does his own thing. And I think there's a lot of factors. You add it all up, and it's just like what we could get out of him as a pitcher probably isn't worth all the headaches that you would incur. And I mean, then you can argue whether or not he, the time away and stuff makes him still a viable big league pitcher. Right. We've seen in spurts when he faces MLB guys, he's pretty dominant, but over the course of the season, who knows? Because 32 now?
Yeah, 32, 33, something like that.
Yeah. So
all right. So have you heard the story on Nathan Hale legend Jontay Porter?
The prop bet thing? Yeah.
He has owned and operated a VIP account in FanDuel in Colorado, wagered millions between 2021 and 23. He's allegedly did not accept any bets from him on basketball games. Placed over 1,000 wagers, but ESPN reported that in March he was under investigation by the league due to irregular betting on activity on his prop bets. 2 games earlier this season, wagers on Porter to underperform were the most profitable bets of the day, according to DraftKings. He played but left early in both games with, quote, reported ailments. Anyone who bet on the under on his props profited. Now, the league doesn't allow you to bet on NBA games or any affiliated property, summer league and all that kind of stuff. But other sports, they don't prohibit it. But this Jontay Porter, this guy was betting millions, and it does seem like he was betting or had someone bet when he played earlier this season to take the under on some of his games, and then he left the game and perhaps maybe made up an injury of why he had to leave.
I mean, like, you can't be surprised. It's like in God, it's one of my 5 favorite movies, but like in Casino, and De Niro's like narrating it, and he's narrating those guys cheating at blackjack,
right?
Because he talks about they're stupid, they get greedy. If they just do it in a way where you're not betting so much, then nobody notices, but you get greedy. And so like you bet too much, and then it raises, because these guys, especially now, it's not the eye in the sky like in Casino, and then they have the table saw that they threaten them with. Now this is like they have computer algorithms that notice upticks in betting, like, because who the hell bets on Jontay Porter?
No one. Who would ever bet on him on the underperforming these prop bets?
I mean,
other than Jontay Porter or
yeah,
anybody associated with Jontay Porter, his
yeah,
family. I mean, how dumb are you?
and like and you're not surprised because it's a guy that doesn't make a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's on the minimum or whatever. But this is, like it's funny. It's like NBA and MLB and all these guys in NFL. Oh, I can't believe they do this. You went to bed with these teams. You are taking millions. They have you've got announcers doing FanDuel props
And they
before
wonder
the
why
game.
there's a problem.
Could you imagine? Hey, buddy, this is Rick Riz here. Here's my 3 outstanding props for the day.
They should
and
put that. They should. The pick to click should be brought to you by a casino.
Well, I mean, but Riz's props would all be, oh, it says 2.5 home runs for Julio. I'm going to take the plus on that because, that kid just, I look at him and
he's positive.
Yeah. Oh, he's the best. I mean, he'd have Julio plus 2.5 homers, Trent Thornton plus 7 strikeouts and one outing
Thornton. I'm telling you that pick to click. I mean, they need to have that sponsored by a casino. I think that. I think that would be great.
Flowers on that more than anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Blow would know probably more than anybody. Warriors. Real quick on the Warriors. Would you break them up? Would you break up the Warriors? Clay wants a max deal. He's not going to get a max deal. Draymond, whoever knows what's going to go with Draymond. They were eliminated yesterday by the Kings. You think it's over for those guys?
I mean, I don't I think so. Draymond can't play. I mean, he can play, but he can't play enough. And to be fair, some of their draft picks have just been not. You thought the James Wiseman pick would help them.
He's just a great pick,
but he's a 0.
Yeah, nothing.
He's a 0 mentally. And they don't have enough pieces. I mean, Kevon Looney's 1,000 years old, and he looks like he's 1,000.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth to do it. I mean, as much as it pains me to say this, Oklahoma City is probably going to make the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, my God. Just anybody but those guys. They're the best team in the conference, and they're the youngest team in the conference. That's what's so miserable about them.
I mean, the Warriors, they look old. And then, you can't get away with, the way they turn – because I still watch a lot of NBA. The way they turn the basketball over, they just – because they're not as prolific offensively and they don't have the depth. And so they turn it over and they waste possessions,
They've played so much basketball. Think about how much basketball they've played the last 10 years. Not just 82. It's all the playoffs and everything. They're in the finals almost every year.
Yeah, it sucks Clay's going to get a max deal. And I still like that combo of Steph and Clay, but it's the other pieces,
Yeah.
The Podziemski is a good player, but think about the other draft picks. Didn't they draft that kid out of Arizona, that Nico, what's his name, that couldn't play either? He's over in Italy playing the redheaded point guard. They drafted him.
They haven't nailed on cheap options to help him out.
No, and then some of the guys they acquire, like Wiggins and stuff, they help them for a year, but then it doesn't.
Then it doesn't pan out, right?
You have to wonder what would have happened had Durant not left, though.
Oh, I mean, they would have had, I don't know, a couple more, three more.
It makes that 1 year where
I don't know how they
makes when they won it 2 years ago so crazy because this is the same team and they just put it all together for a run.
All right. I hope you make your flight today. Good luck on that. Have a blast in Denver. All right. Appreciate
it's supposed
it.
To be snowing and rainy.
Yeah, but then it'll be 70.
Yeah, that's true, but not the forecast doesn't look good for the weekend. But I mean, the Mariners, I'm gonna go try and see the APD. Kevin Shockey.
Go tell him hi. Tell old Kevin Shockey hi. Tell him we all miss him out here. All right.
Yeah, go. I mean, if people have never been there, they got to go to a game at Coors Field. I mean, the baseball is terrible. But that outfield
the
part
baseball is terrible. But the stadium and everything around it's great.
Yeah. The outfield party deck in right field.
Yeah,
it's awesome. One of the coolest things. Yeah, they know how to. They still draw fans because it's the place to go in Denver, downtown Denver, and unlike the Soto area, which is a little bit rougher, downtown Denver embraces the idea of staying open after a game.
It's what Seattle should be like. All right. Safe flight. Thank you for joining us today. We'll talk to you probably on Friday. That is Ryan Divish, Seattle Times. It's all brought to you by, I didn't even mention, Chalet Bowl, chaletbowl.com. Big thanks to Reggie, Frederick, and the family there, chaletbowl.com. Washington's longest outstanding bowling alley in the Proctor District there in Tacoma. Divish joins us on Wednesdays and Fridays. He joined us today here on the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD, which you can find at pucksports.com, YouTube, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, all of your podcast networks. We'll talk to Brad Adam today, a live post-game show coming up after the M's game. Until then, as always, if I can spit it out, we promise to be better.
But we probably won't.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!